If you go to the Feast of Trumpets in 2025, which is September 23rd or 9/23, and you take it back 1,335 days. Now, this is because Daniel chapter 12, verse 12 says, "Blessed is he who makes it to the 1,335 days." Okay, so if you take it back 1,335 days from the Feast of Trumpets in 2025, you come to January 27th, 2022. What is January 27th? January 27th is the celebration of the memorial of the Liberation Day of Auschwitz. All of the prisoners in the camp of Auschwitz that were locked down by the Nazis were liberated 1,335 days previous to the rapture. Is that not a type and shadow? Almost exactly, right? Exactly. The Jews being liberated on that day, and 1,335 days later, you have the Rapture Day, Feast of Trumpets? That's crazy. That's big, big, big to me. Is that the 1,335 days Daniel could be talking about? Very possibly. Now it gets even deeper than that. Now, we know that in Psalms 90, verse 10, it says that a generation is 70 to 80 years. Then we go to Jesus, and he said, "This generation shall not pass." Talking about the last generation. Now, where most people start this at, okay, is 1948, because that is when the land of Israel, I don't believe the people, I believe those are not the real people, but I believe the land of Israel it had become a state. So they say starting from 48, a generation, say it's 80 years, right? It takes you to around 2028, around there, right? So 80 years from 1948 is 2028. Now, if you, though, this is something that nobody has ever said, if you start that 80 years in 1945, where the Jews were liberated from the Nazi camp Auschwitz, then you take it all the way down, it comes to 2025. 2025, not 28 or 29. And 2020 and 25 is exactly where I've been saying the rapture is. Feast of Trumpets. Please go watch my last video called Rapture Facts, Not Feelings. I know you're going to say no man knows the day or the hour. That's talking about the Feast of Trumpets. You need to know that. So that is amazing to me. These connections are absolutely astonishing to me. I was led to look this up this morning. Again, going over it. Daniel says in chapter 12, verse 12 of the book of Daniel, "Blessed is he who makes it to the 1,335 days." If you go to the Feast of Trumpets in 2025, the day that no man know the day or the hour, and you take it back 1,335 days, you come to the day that is commemorated January 27th for the liberation of the Jews at Auschwitz. Is that what Daniel was talking about? Then, if you start the 80 years, not from 1948, but from 1945, when the Jews were liberated from Auschwitz, that 80 years takes you, which is the last generation, to 2025, not 28 or 29, where I've been saying the rapture is, the Feast of Trumpets. Is that not incredible? That's incredible. Now, one last piece of amazing information about 1945 is that is not only the year that the Jews were let out of Auschwitz and liberated, but that is the year that the first atom bomb dropped. Get it? Atom or Adam? Adama? Adam and Eve? Adam? Atoms were made up of atoms. 1945. And you know what the site was called? Trinity. Trinity. Isn't that what they call the Godhead? Father, Son, Holy Ghost? The Trinity. It was dropped at the Trinity site in 1945. And 80 years from that, which is a full generation, according to Psalms 90 verse 10, takes you to 2025, not 28 or 29. That's amazing to me.